So when you're trying to recover from an emotionally abusive relationship with a narcissist or with someone else, the people you surround yourself with really matter. You can surround yourself with supportive people who make you feel good, or you can surround yourself with toxic people who make you feel even worse. And that can make recovery so much more difficult and take a lot longer. So today I wanted to talk about 3 types of people you should probably distance yourself from while you're going through the recovery process, especially early on. Now, sometimes these people are a little bit toxic themselves, and sometimes they're well-meaning, but doing more harm than good. So we're going to cover all that in this video. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Common Ego community. My name is Christina, and on this channel we talk about narcissistic abuse, its connection with spirituality, and we attempt to answer the question, where do we go from here? So if that all sounds good to you, be sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Today we're talking about the 3 types of people you should avoid when you're going through narcissistic abuse or emotional abuse recovery. When you're in this time, there's a lot to process, there's a lot to go through, and a lot to learn. And we can't always expect that the people in our lives are completely going to understand. But I have identified 3 types of people who may be doing more harm than good in your life. And it could be, like I said, because they're toxic, or they could be well-meaning and just maybe saying the wrong things. So we're going to talk about those 3 types of people right now. So the first type of person that you probably should distance yourself from when you're going through this is the get over it person. And we've all known somebody like this, and you may even have somebody like this in your family or in your circle of friends. But this is the person who will just tell you, you know, everybody's got problems. Get over it. I don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. Everybody's got their own problems. Just take it somewhere else. And so not everyone has to listen to our problems, right? So it's fine. You don't have to talk to that person about what's going on in your life. They've already made it very clear they don't want to hear it. But the really damaging part of somebody saying things like this is that they'll have you believing that nobody cares, and that is not true. When you find the right people, when you find the right support system, and you may already have a good support system in your own life, you'll realize that when you focus on those people, that people actually do care. There is good in this world, but it's going to be harder and harder to see when you surround yourself with people like this. Now, there's also a well-meaning version of this, and this is the person who might say, you know, I'm just tired of hearing it. And I kind of understand where this person's coming from, and you might too, because having been through it, you're tired of hearing about it. You're tired of dealing with it. You're tired of the emotional roller coaster that you've been on for so long. So you can kind of understand why somebody might be tired of hearing the same thing again and again. And especially if that person loves you deeply and wants nothing more than to help you, but they realize that they cannot help you. You have to help yourself. So they might be tired of hearing that, you know, you've got this same problem over and over again, and they can't help you with it. So it might be frustrating to them because they actually really do care about you. So this type of person who may have told you in the past, I just don't want to hear it, they may become supportive when you actually take steps to get away from this abusive person. So that's going to be something that you have to judge for yourself. So the second type of person that you're going to want to avoid when you are trying to recover from an emotionally abusive relationship is anyone who really believes in the other person's version of the story. So anyone who really believes that you didn't go through the stuff that you're saying you went through, that you know you went through. So these are, you know, what we often call the flying monkeys of the narcissist. These people may even recognize that the narcissist or the other emotionally abusive person has done a lot of harm, but they make excuses for them, and they somehow think that you should just deal with it. Now, with this, I want to talk about something that I've been seeing, a pattern I've been seeing on this channel in the comments. And it's not the large majority of comments, but there have been commenters who come in, and I kind of call them narcissist sympathizers. And more than just having, you know, human compassion for people who have narcissistic personality disorder, these people champion for them. You know, how dare you talk about somebody who has a personality disorder in this way? They need help. And I'm seeing this more and more often, and I suspect this is going to be something that we continue to see. So I want to address it. There was even one commenter who was comparing narcissism to an anxiety disorder. And the difference here is that yes, it is a disorder, but it's a disorder that allows them to hurt people to get their way. So they can leave a lot of carnage in their wake and not feel bad about it in the slightest. The disorder also prevents them from seeing that they should get help. So the rest of us are left to pick up the pieces. And this person walks away scot-free. They're fine. They don't need a champion. But yet you have somebody championing for them, defending them, when you are dealing with the pain and the hurt feelings, and sometimes the effects manifest in physical ways too, all the stress that you go through. So whether in a YouTube comment or in your personal life, these are not people that you need to surround yourself with. And they're not people that you need to pay a whole lot of attention to. Okay, so the third type of person you should avoid when you're trying to recover from narcissistic abuse or emotional abuse, and maybe you should always avoid this type of person, is the blame shifter. Somebody who always seems to be finding fault in you when you're trying to tell them about a bad experience that you had. What we're talking about here, emotional abuse, destroying somebody's sense of self-worth, there is no reason. There is no good reason for anyone to do that. There is no excuse for it. So blame shifting it's kind of illogical, you know, there's no excuse for that behavior. So why are you trying to make excuses? Again, we are all works in progress, and we should never stop looking at our own lives and our own choices and what might have brought us from point A to point B and how we can strengthen ourselves so it doesn't happen again. But we should never feel like we have to defend ourselves against actions that are really not acceptable under any circumstances. So those are the three types of people that I think it's a good idea to distance yourself from when you are getting out of these relationships. And maybe in some cases, there are people that you should distance yourself from permanently. But as with everything, there's always a lot of gray area. So it's going to be up to you to make these determinations and decisions about who you want in your life. Ultimately, the important part is that you're able to remain strong and feel supported through the process. So if you like this video, please let me know by hitting the like button. And if you'd like to see more like it, be sure you're subscribed, and I will see you next time.